Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains, and thanks for joining me for this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install a current keeper from SoundTraxx into this locomotive. This is a locomotive for my father's HO scale layout. It's an Athearn RTR model with DCC and sound equipped. And I'm going to put a current keeper circuit into this so that he can run it around his layout without having any stalling issues anywhere in there. So I'm not going to really do an unboxing of this. We're gonna shut this and I'm going to open this up and pull it out, and we're going to go through the process of how to put this in. So let's get this opened up and take it out, and we'll come back then. Okay, now getting this shell off couldn't really be any easier. So here's the deal with that. You have a coupler on each end, and let's see if I can focus on that. So all you need to do to take the shell off is there's a screw for the coupler right here. You need to remove the front and rear couplers. You got a screw here and a screw here, and then this shell will pull right off. So let me take those off. Just like that, and then the couplers are off, and then as you can see, this shell comes right off. So let me get this opened up and we'll look at what's involved with the current keeper. Okay, so I've laid the shell off to the side. Now I don't want to pull on this shell because the wiring for the headlight and the taillights are in here, and I don't want them to get pulled out. So I'm just going to lay it off to the side. This is the board, the sound board and all that go to this. This is the current keeper, and you can see it has a plug on the end of it. Very small plug here. And in some applications, you can use the plug and just plug it into the board. In some applications, you cannot. Fortunately for me, right in the end of this little white board here, there's a small plug, and all I need to do is plug this plug into the board, and we're done. And that's all I need to do. And then it's just a matter of fitting this into the shell here and get it situated so that I can put the shell back on and everything closes down in there. That's kind of a trick. In this application, when I was looking up to buy the current keeper here, it listed okay, let me start from the beginning. When I looked at the paperwork for this locomotive, it listed it as an economy decoder, sound decoder and all. So when looking at the SoundTraxx current keeper paperwork, it says that it works with the economy soundboard as just a plug-in. So it didn't tell me which board this was. And looking at the directions, and you should absolutely read any directions that come with stuff like that. Never just toss them off to the side and jump right in. I read the directions, and for the Economy 100 board, it didn't go into any other Economy boards. It told me that you had to go onto this thing here, and you had to clip two of the wires and then cut the plug off of here and solder them in. Now it's telling me to clip, I believe it was a blue wire and a green and yellow striped wire. Well, I don't have a green and yellow striped wire here. So seeing that, I called SoundTraxx, and I really hesitate to call places like that because usually it's hard to get good help. But when I called them, I was very surprised. They were very, very helpful. And I explained that I don't have the wires that they claim I should have, and had me send them a picture of the board that I have. And he explained to me that I have, it's not the Eco 100 board, it's the Eco 200 board. And that's when he told me that the little plug was right here. And all I had to do was plug it in, and that was it. It was very helpful, extremely helpful. And so once I figured that out, so let's plug this in. So this will go right into here. Let's see if I can get this right. Like this. And then we're just going to make sure that that gets pushed all the way in. There it is. That's it for the installation. There's nothing else to do for this. Now the only problem is getting this to fit within the shell inside of here. Now, in playing around with this a little bit and trying to get things to close, there's really not a lot of room inside this shell. Laying it on top of here puts this up too high. The shell won't go down. Laying it up at this end, like this, you have, okay, so here's the thing. There's a piece of metal here that sits on top of this. And we've got this piece right here. Rides right on top here. And then, as you can see, I've already modified. I had to modify. So this piece goes here. And then they use this as a guide for the wires to come down to the front, and this is another guide right here. What I have to do, or I had to do to get this to fit, is I had to pull out this piece, and then I put it in my vise and I cut off all of this. And then all I need to do now is put this back in, screw it back down, and then this will sit right here just like this, and the cover will close and everything fits perfectly. Without this modification, not happening. So this is what I was faced with, and it's all going to work fine. So let me get this all closed up and put back together. I got to put the screws back down in here, and I'll get this all closed up and we'll throw it on the test track and see how it all works. Okay, so I've set up my programming track. And if you're interested in this programming track, I have a video for it showing how I made it. It works really well, and I use it with JMRI Decoder Pro, which I have on my computer, and you can see that right up here. So I have this all working. It's up on my computer. And what I've also done is I've run, this is a 7-inch long piece of painter's tape to represent dead track on the layout, just so I can test the current keeper that's on here. Let's get this fired up and make sure that it's all working. Get you hooked up here, and we just want to make sure. Now I will say that the current keeper in here, I did read in the directions that it takes about 2 minutes for a full charge. Now I haven't put it on for the full 2 minutes, I will say, and I'm not going to wait it out. I'll give it about 30 seconds or so. You can hear it's all working. So let's give it a little bit of throttle and see if we can get over that. Oh, I'm going to go forward. So there she goes. Notice I'm running it very slowly. And then we'll let it sit for a few seconds. And then we'll back it over it again. And there it goes. Smooth as can be. So that's it. It's all installed. Everything is back together. And we're done. And it couldn't have been easier. The only modification, like I said, that we had to make is we had to cut off the top of this one mount that's in there. Now, cutting the top off doesn't interfere with anything. Everything's still fine. What it is, it looks like to me is a retainer for the drive shaft that's in there. Just keeps it from popping up and out of the connections that are in there. That piece is still in there. Used the same original screws. Everything worked just fine. The only thing is we're just short this height here. And that's it. So all in all, I think it went very well. It was extremely easy to do. So that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. Love to have you. That's going to be it for this week. And happy modeling.